At the start of the movie, a high school student Wendy is seen in the park who had visited there with her best friend Kevin and other ones. Their other classmates were also there. While taking the photos of her friends there, she observes a strange thing. The light of a letter V of the written phrase "high dive" is turned off when she is taking the photos. That changes the phrase as "high die." But she continues to take the photos, ignoring it. Capturing the photos of everyone, they go on the roller coaster named Devil Flight. There was also the big statue of a devil. It was also speaking. Wendy rides on the roller coaster because of her friends. But she was reluctant to ride. Because she was feeling awkward as something is going to be wrong. Somehow, she agrees because of one of the friends. She got the front seat with her friend, but she was not willing to sit at the top. So she moves to the back seat, where Kevin was with her on the back seat. Wendy begins to take photo, using her camera. A security guard disallows her. Cameras are not allowed. Hearing it, Kevin turns off his camera. Kevin's hand is stuck with the chewing gum which was on the front seat of him. Hydraulic system of the roller coaster had created a problem. But everyone was unaware about it. Roller coaster is started. One of their friends takes out his camera on the starting of the ride. His camera is fallen down and stuck on the below track on the overbank turn of the roller coaster. The hydraulics stop generating power as train of roller coaster passes on it. In consequence of it, their seat belts are unfastened. And roller coaster train's wheels begin to remove. Losing its balance, first roller coaster train loses the balance on the track and crashes down. There were two friends of Wendy. And one more friend is going to lose his life because of the overbanked turn. Kevin strives to save him but of no avail. That roller coaster train is halted amid because of taking an overbanked turn. As a result, two of their friends are fallen down. Wendy and Kevin were only there who had left. Somehow, they push the roller coaster train backward but in vain. Because Kevin is dismembered. Roller coaster train loses its balance from the track, putting Wendy into death. Then Wendy awakens. Actually, Wendy had a nightmare which she was dreaming. She is still sitting in the roller coaster and there is the same standing security guard who was forbidding them to use the video camera. She is very frightened, having a nightmare. Then she observes that chewing gum has stuck with the hand of Kevin. It was the same as it happened in the nightmare. Here Wendy is assured that she has forecast. She is disturbed because of horrible coming time. She says while shouting, "It will be crashed." She also tells, hydraulics will also stop generating power with the breakage of the tracks. Management has to remove her from there because of her sensation of fear. Management opens the seat belts of a roller coaster train. As a result, her friends also get off from there with her. But other roller coaster train was still locked. In spite of a strife, her two friends could not get off from there. Sending them out, roller coaster is started. Wendy comes there for her friends and asks them to stop the roller coaster. But they again get her out from there. Wendy knew that her friends are going to be dead. But she was unable to take a single step to save them. She is observing the roller coaster. And it happens the same as she had dreamt. That roller coaster is crashed before her eyes and her two bosom friends are passed away as it is. Wendy gets worried due to this accident. And she is about to leave that town. Before leaving, she visits her school and meets Kevin. But she does not speak to him enough. She overlooks her. Then Kevin tells her about a plane crash. He tells, "What happened with you as you have predicted." In the same way someone had also predicted like this. And the survivors of that plane crash later dead horribly. And death kills them according to that plan which was assigned. He reveals the death plan. As the turn is transferred to other if death skips someone. He explains everything to Wendy but she leaves, taking it a mischief. Going in the house, she keeps her sister's bracelet as a good luck charm. Because she needs a good fortune now. She was moving to an unknown place and was alone. She begins to view the photo of that day when she visited in the amusement park. She notices a thing in the photos. She views of her late friend who had photo in the posture of a devil. And the photo of roller coaster had also been captured which was crashing. And he was also dead in roller coaster crashing. After that, Wendy notices the rest of friends' photos, where she finds her two female friends. But she gets no clue which indicates their death cause. In spite of it, she calls them. But they don't pick up the phone because of their visit to a tanning salon. There they commit a mistake. Setting the timer of the tanning beds, they lie there. The biggest fault done by them is to keep the drink bottle on the stabilizer. That drink is flowed in that voltage stabilizer, which causes electrical circuit. As a result, its voltage begins to increase itself. Increasing voltage also raises the temperature. Temperature was raising gradually and they both had started to feel it. They try to come outside, but a wooden board is stuck between their tanning beds, falling down. As a result, those tanning beds were not opening, and they both were entrapped inside. The inner glasses of tanning beds had also cracked and their skin had started to burn to a large extent. Raised temperature causes the fire in those tanning beds. They are burnt alive and then dead in a very horrible way. There was hidden hint of their death in the photo of both girls, as there was a yellow lighted tree between them, and a wooden board was stuck between their tanning beds while dying. And they were dead because his death had to occur in such a way. The next targets were those two friends who used to serve at a hardware store. Then Wendy and Kevin leave to that place in order to meet them. But seeing their photos, they were not getting any hint. How will they die? But Wendy makes her aware that their friend will be no more because of the fallen sharp points, coming from upside. And they save him. Now they have defeated the death plan. It is clear that death had to move to its next target. And she was their friend who meets her end due to the nail gun. Now the photo was also exposing itself. It means there were sharp points in the photo where the written word was nail. Their friend reports to police against them on his friend's death. Having no proof, police officers release them. Now they had no knowledge. Who is next? Because they did not pay attention to the people sitting at their front. Afterward, they moved to their own houses. Going into the house, Wendy has fallen asleep. Due to this, her sister takes the bracelet of good luck charm from her because she was going to a festival with her friends. Waking up, Wendy watches a photo in front of her. She gets understanding that her sister and friend were sitting at their front seat. Now her sister was the target. She calls Kevin, who is in the festival. He asks Wendy to view your own photos before coming, so they know which plan has been set for them by death, so that they may have an idea. Seeing her photo, she finds no hint. But there was a written word on Wendy's shirt, MC Kinley. Then she understands that her friend MC Kinley is going to kill her. Viewing the photo of Kevin, She also gets no hint, but she understands that fireworks will let off on him. Now they both have known the hints about their own deaths. Wendy hurriedly leaves to the festival. Then the car radio is automatically turned on. There was a playing song, "There is someone walking behind you." Then Wendy notices that Ian is pursuing her. Then she speeds up her car. Kevin discovers Wendy's sister in the festival, but she runs away from him. Meanwhile, Wendy also approaches there. Then some boys blow up some bangers behind a horse. Consequently, it begins to gallop. Horse's rein wraps around the neck of Wendy's sister. And it begins to drag her with it. She is going to strike with an arrow, but Kevin saves her, cutting that rein. Here Kevin had also defeated death, so it was the turn of his friend now. But Wendy has got late and her friend is also dead. Now the death target is Kevin. But Wendy saves him at the exact moment. Now it was the turn of Wendy because Kevin was rescued. At the same time, Ian also reaches there. Before any action on his part, there was cannon firework transport which was not stable. Many cannon fireworks are let off towards them from there. These are spread in the surroundings. They are all saved. But a cannon fireworks fall on basket crane. As a result, Ian is crushed as it falls down on him. Now there was opposite thing happened. As it was Wendy's death occurrence instead of Ian after being victimized with the basket crane. Because there was a written word McKinley on that carny. It did not allow Ian to go ahead when he came on its way. So he became the victim. Because Ian was the death target after Wendy. After this, the time 5 months later is shown. Wendy is seen there who is going somewhere by bus. Then someone starts singing the same song in the bus. There is someone walking behind you. As a result, Wendy is quite disturbed. Because she was in that carriage which number was 081, which has the reverse number 180. There were the tags of those locations where her friends had met their ends. But there was also an extra tag which may be the hint or warning for her. She gets off the train at a stop which comes before her planned stop. Because things were seeming wrong to her. She was feeling as something is going to happen again. Getting off the train, she encounters her sister there. Otherwise, she also meets Kevin there. They get together in the train and train loses its balance on the track. At first, Wendy's sister dies, then Kevin and Wendy is also dead in the end. Then Wendy wakes up again here. Waking up, she knows, it was only her nightmare. It means, she had again forecast. Here Wendy had got idea that death had a very shrewd plan for the deaths of 3 of them. They both know the heart feeling while reading her face. It means, their deaths are also not too far from them. They try to stop the train but of no use. 3 of them are died. And this movie ends with their deaths.